Hello and welcome to the Real-Esteem podcast. Today is February the 13th, 2019. I'm your host, Patrick Tabor, and today we're going to talk about companionship. If you're accessing our podcast through any of our providers, Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Spreaker, please subscribe so you can get a notification when we make new ones available. If you'd like to listen to any old podcasts or get a copy of our book, Real-Esteem, Finding Your Identity in Christ, please visit us at enith.com, EYNIITH.com. As we talk about companionship today, there's two areas I would like to focus on. One is marriage, one is friendship. These two areas have a profound effect on your life, your decision making, how you focus on what's next in life, how you categorize the importance of different events. Things that you want to do and accomplish are affected by these two things. If you are married, I want you to realize that we have to really be intentional about finding a friend first that we would marry. If you do not find the friend first and you have a companion that you know and like, but you're not really close friends, you're going to find different issues that will come up later in the marriage. That is the number one cause of a lot of separations, is people did not really know the person as well as they thought they did. They weren't really good friends. A good friend knows how to spill the beans. They will just tell you everything ahead of time so that you kind of know what you're getting into. I remember someone saying something real good. They said, I let my spouse know everything about me prior to us getting into that relationship so that that person could make the decision on whether they wanted to be with me. And I thought that was great because you give that person the opportunity to decide whether you are a viable option, if you want to deal with them, if you want to keep going down this path. And you are honest and upfront, and that always bodes well for a person when they're giving you the option and not keeping things from you because they're fearful of what decision you'll make. They even want you to make a good decision, meaning they might not be the one or the right one. So I think that's really good, and that shows care and love, in my opinion. Genesis 2:18 says, Then the Lord said, It is not good for that man should be alone. I will make a helper fit for him. Now, you can think about this in the context. He was talking to Adam, or talking about Adam, and Adam needed help or needed support, a helper. So you have to find somebody that really works well with you, meaning they're not bucking the issues. They're not always fighting against you. You actually are both going in the same direction. And, it goes both ways. It really goes both ways. You tend to help one another just as much as the other one is helping you. Your mindset is about supporting that person. That's what true friends do. Doesn't matter when the road gets rough, you're still there to support and help that person. Even if time has passed and you haven't been around them that much or haven't been able to talk to them that much, when a circumstance or situation really comes up where they need you, you can really get yourself into helping them because that is your friend. And that's what's important. People always need to see that you're there even when they need your support. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 says, Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one can lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. I think that's a powerful scripture that you need to take into your marriage and realize that you are in a fight together. You are in a life together. You are working out this whole walk together. You're helping one another. One is going to fall eventually. Both of you will fall eventually in some form or fashion because we all sin. We all fall short. But who's going to be there to pick us up? Everybody who says they're with you is not actually with you, because when you fall down, they may keep walking. But this person who is supposed to be your spouse, your support, they're always going to be there to pick you up, even if you messed up. So I think it's really good that you realize how important it is that you find a friend that will stick closer than a brother. Genesis 2:24 says, Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. You are working to create an example of Christ's relationship to the church. Your lifestyle, your focus, the things that you do should represent Christ in every possible way, meaning your connection, your love for one another, your support for one another, how you lift one another up, how you do not bash one another, how you do not put each other down. You are trying to show that agape love so that people can see how God really loves the church, or how he really loves his people. If you don't leave your father or your mother, if you still hold fast to the past as opposed to your wife or your husband, if you don't become that one flesh, if you don't work together and separate everything that's not included in that, I mean, you still love your parents, you still love your family, but you don't put your family over your wife. Now, vice versa, you don't put your husband. Same concept with the husband. Husband should not have a family or other people put before him either. So becoming one flesh is more about displaying that love that God has for us, that relationship between Christ and the church. And you do that by living well with one another and showing that this bond that God's created is developed into more than just a friendship, or it's not like other friendships, meaning you guys are more than just close. You are bonded. Proverbs 18:22 says, He that finds a wife or finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Speaks for itself. You will be favored if you find a wife. You found a good thing. You will find favor from the Lord because you've done things the right way. Hebrews 13:4 says, Let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled, for God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. So in other words, just make it a priority. Your focus needs to be to go towards marriage. When we talk to couples who are dating, we tell them often that, first you have to be best friends, and you need to have a goal. If your focus is not on marriage, if you're just hanging out, if you're just dating to see what's up, that's all great and well. But, if you don't have a goal to get to, you might be wasting time. And if you lay out your path at the beginning of a friendship or a relationship that may lead to that, then you let the person know that you are trying to go forward. You're giving the person a chance to reject time-wasting options. They are able to really say, I want my life to be like this. I want to move forward. These are my goals. If you lay that out at the beginning, you don't have to waste time with people who are not interested in that same path. Because if you're not going on the same path, you're not going to achieve the right goal. Your goal will always be hindered because that person's not on the same path as you. So moving into friendship, because friendship is so powerful and so important to your walk with God, because people can always lead you astray. So you have to have the right friends around you. And if that friend is one that may lead to marriage, they need to become that best friend of yours. They really do. It's that important. So in Proverbs 13:20, it says, Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. If you hang around crazy people, you will eventually become crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all a little crazy, but you have to find people who are getting their life together, have their life together, are focused on a path and a goal that God has put them on. You have to be around people who are going to really bring positivity around you or to you. They're really going to bring you wisdom. They're going to bring you understanding. They're going to tell you when something's going to be harmful or hurtful to you. They're going to give you wise counsel. They're going to be a true friend because they don't want to see anything bad happen to you. They'll tell you the truth. You want to be around people who are not only wise, but are acting out that wisdom. There's a difference. There's people who may know things and understand things, but if they don't live it, then it's still hard to follow or hang out with that person because they may know the truth, but the truth may not have set them free. Proverbs 18:24 says, a man of many companions may come to ruin, but there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Anybody who has a large crowd around them, that might not be the person you need to hang around with all the time. Because they have a lot of friends doesn't make them a great person, a wise person, a smart person. And I know, yes, people do flock to people who have achieved many goals or major aspects or aspirations in their life, but you can get pieces from that person. But that person, if they have a lot of people that are so-called friends around them, companions around them, those people tend to leech and pull off of that person. And that's not, I don't think you have to have a lot of friends. I think God really wants you to have true friends, not many friends. Because a real friend's going to stick closer than a brother. When those people who have met those aspirations and those high attaining goals, and that stuff those situations may change for whatever reason, most people walk away from that person, but only the true friends would stay. Do you see what I'm saying? So Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So I have friends that I really enjoy being around, but I don't get to be around them that much. We have short conversations whenever I do get to see them. We have to actually try to create time in a year to be together because we are so busy with our families, with whether it's church, business. Everybody's doing very important stuff, and you can't expect everybody to stop everything that they're doing when they're trying to chase after God, chase after the dreams that they have, and try to do what's necessary for the kingdom. You can't expect everybody to stop what they're doing for God just to hang out with you. But you have to make time for that as best you can because you're friends. Now, the reason I bring this up is because some people hold other people to this high standard, but that they don't have even for themselves. They expect everybody else to do all these things for them, but then themselves, they don't put forth that effort to do what they're expecting others to do. That's not a friend. A friend looks at your circumstance and your situation. They accept what you've given them as your word, and they live by that. And then once you come back together, when you get an opportunity to hang out with them, you get a chance to speak with them and be around them. The great thing about true friendship is none of that other stuff matters. You pick up from where you left off. It's as if no time has passed, and you enjoy that moment so much so that it does last you a long time because you're true friends. I hope you got something out of this today. Be blessed. Grace and peace.